Um, would it be wrong for me to induct Subasic or whatever his name is into the Brick Academy? I get that players decline and so forth. They have their rise and falls. Do this trash. Do this trash. I mean, to go from a CL finalist to stupidly giving away a penalty and just being straightforward, just awkward and trash and classy. It's amazing. It's an amazing fall. But look, I said again, I always knew Bayern were going to win this game. That was a fact. I always knew that they were going to win. Now, what I didn't know was it was going to be this hard for them. Because as I've said numerous times, is what I find most interesting. What I find the most interesting is the very fact that you're able to have teams who have recovered pretty well. So my whole thing is recovery, is how teams have recovered and how teams look. At the moment, from what I've seen, again, I've not really seen clips from all the Bundesliga games, but from what I've seen, the team that has recovered the best and have looked the best has been Dortmund. Bayern Munich, they looked all right, but they didn't look like their Bayern selves. They didn't look as free roaming and as free movements. They didn't really look as sexy and as bada bing, bada boom as we normally see from them. So that was one part of me that was like, although Alphonso Davies did look good, Alphonso Davies did look good, and I think you're definitely, and I think even if I think Gnabry looked a bit rusty, but you saw he grew into the game as the game wore on. But Bayern they came there just to do their job. They came there just to do their job, and they came there just to say, you know what, we're just here to pretty much win the game, get 3 points. And look, Union Berlin did all right. For me, I feel that Union Berlin actually did a lot better than flipping Schalke. So I look at Schalke and say, wait a minute, maybe Schalke are just trash. Maybe Schalke are just trash. Maybe it's not a whole lockdown thing because Union Berlin put up a much better fight and gave Bayern a much tougher game than Schalke did. Based on how Schalke played, I think Bayern Munich would have levitated them. I think that they would have levitated them. And also, we have to speak about Lewandowski, man. I get it's a penalty and everything. A goal is a goal. Homie is on 26 Gs. Homeboy is on 26 Gs this season, man. But yeah, man. But you see, that's why I just. But the thing that this is the issue with Bayern's dominance in the Bundesliga. Like, I get it's Union Berlin and everything, but Bayern can still play like that and still win. That's the thing about Bayern. They can still play like that, where they're like things. There's hardly any chemistry. There's no real connectivity. If you compare how they played at the bridge to this, you see, this felt like, okay, this is preseason. They're not playing well. But even if they were at their paces, a mistake from Union Berlin and just a really good cross from Joshua Kimmich and a great header from Pava, 2-0 winners, and that's just why, Union Berlin, like, there's not that much they could do, because when you're an inferior team, all you can do is defend deep and counterattack. That's all you can do. One thing pissed me off though. So Union Berlin have a striker called Anthony Uja. He's named Uja. Why did the commentators feel the need to call him Uja? So there's a good shot from Uja. It's like, wait, why is he called Uja? But for me, like, you see, again, I want to just see that Bayern Dortmund game. And I hope that Bayern and Dortmund can win their games so we can now see them within like a title race conversation come towards that game, because again, Union Berlin were never going to give them much of a threat. But Dortmund can maybe look at that and say, all right, Bayern won. It is what it is. A win is a win. But maybe it's going to take these guys a few weeks before they get to their very best, because Dortmund can say to themselves that if we played like we did against Schalke, move the ball around as we did, and we bring that game against Bayern, maybe we can say what's up. But from Bayern's point of view, they know that, look, we were like at 50%. We're nowhere near our best, and we still won the game. We're nowhere near our best. We still won a game that we can play so much better. I think the best player on that pitch, I think, was Alphonso Davies. You just saw how well, because again, so that's the weird thing. Because so many of Bayern's attacks were down the left. there was hardly any attacks down the right. So I think the back four was Pavard, Pavard, Alaba, Boateng, Davis, and I think Joshua Kimmich was the midfielder. So you saw some Pavard as a right back, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like, but see, Pavard is just not that athletic. So which leads me to believe that maybe Pavard's best position may be in the sense of defense, because I didn't see Pavard make those runs or get to the byline to the same degree as your boy Alphonso Davis did, which leads me to believe that maybe they need a right back. Because remember, when Bayern were really doing their thing, they had Alaba on the left and they had your boy Bart Simpson on the right, So let's see what you guys say. Bro, I said, bro, it's all about live. Live is how is it? I mean, I do vids here and then everything, but what I realized is that doing live stuff, I wish I did the live stuff better, because the thing about live stuff is that it's interactive. It is interactive. I can have a nice back and forth, and it's better. Me doing stuff offline is like, boom, it goes offline, and then there you go. It's off, man. But look, Boateng, you see, I inducted Boateng like, I think last season, because I thought he was done. I thought that Boateng was like, similar to Hummels, was all right. He had his heyday at the World Cup, had his peak, and now you just saw the slow decline. But I'll keep it real with you. I will keep it all the way real with you. Last few months, maybe he's not been as good as he's been in during the 2014-2013 era, but last few months, Boateng has been pretty good. Boateng he's been solid. He's been solid. He's been good enough to be like, you know what? I can hold up the defense and everything. And the thing about Boateng though is, because remember, because I was watching an Instagram live between Jerome Boateng and Karen Prince Boateng on Instagram, and Karen Prince Boateng made the point that his technique, his passing technique is really good, and that is a great asset that Bayern has. So you have his defending and everything, but he's very good at those long passes from deep, and that in itself is a great asset, because again, the pass from deep is always the difficult one to defend. So if you have a defender who can from 40 yards drive a ball over to like an Alaba or a Davis or over to like a Thomas Muller, that is a great weapon to have, because it is much more harder to defend. So it's good to have. And Boateng, he can still do that. See, you don't lose that way with the age. What you lose in age is physicality. So maybe you're slower, you're not as strong, you're not as sharp, but you don't lose your technique. Technique is something that is with you all the way. Just that you sometimes need physicality with technique. That's why. So when you're old and everything, you get older, that's why you can't really be as strong. Muller was all right. I thought Muller was all right. I didn't think he was that great. I know the funny thing about Muller is this. Can we be honest about Thomas Muller? And I think I've always held this view for a long time. Can we just admit that Thomas Muller is not technically the most gifted football player naturally? Can we just admit that he's not really the most gifted player naturally? But the thing about Thomas Muller is that he has scored many big goals. And even if he looks awkward on the ball, he looks cumbersome on the ball, the way he crosses looks like if he's falling over and everything, he can get you a winning goal, or he can get you a key goal. And he just understands how to make key plays for you. So Muller is one of those guys that, yeah, bro, like you should always have him in your team. It's not really about ability or what he looks like. You should always have that guy in it. It's just that he doesn't look that great on the ball. He doesn't look that great on the ball, man. Hey, your boy Nick Sportsman, looking professional. They say space is the hardest thing to find on the football field. You see, that is one of Muller's greatest assets, is his spatial awareness and his anticipation. And that in itself is a skill. So his on-the-ball skills may be class B in terms of dribbling, close control with the ball, and looking nice, and neat. You see, it's like he's very untidy on the ball, very untidy. But he's one of those dudes where, and that in itself is a great skill. So just understand what is happening within a game. So he knows that, all right, I'm going to just stand here because I do know that there's a likelihood the chance is going to drop here, and all I have to do is just have a simple tap in. So many of his goals aren't by him doing some crazy skill or something. A lot of his goals is he was at the right place at the right time, and at the end of the day, goals win games. Skills don't win games. Rainbow flicks don't win games. Goals win games. And if a player, who cares how good it is, if he can just find a way to get goals, it's going to be key. So you see, so obviously we didn't see a lot of Coman in this game, and because I think he was there in the second half. And I remember like there was one play that they had at the counter attack, and I said to myself that you've got to shoot. It seemed as if like when Gnabry gave him that ball, his mind was already made up that he was going to pass the ball. But when you look at the position that he was in, and I think a guy who is confident, go for goal. Now, if you're confident on the ball, you should have that confidence. But you know what? I'm going to go for goal, man. So. And for me, like my view on Coman hasn't changed. My view on Coman hasn't changed. He's a useful player, but for me, he's not a top tier player. For me, he's not really a starter. And that is why are Bayern Munich getting Sané? Are they getting Sané because they want to replace Gnabry? No, they're getting Sané because Coman isn't at that high level, and they know that they use both flanks profusely well. Similar to what Real Madrid used to do with Bale and Cristiano, similar to what Liverpool do now with Salah and Mane. So if you really want to say what's up and you're using the 4-2-3-1 formation, you have to have those, your two flankmen have got to be money. Or rather, or maybe 4-3-2. I think Bayern, you do 4-3-2-1. 4-3-2-1, because I think they have Goretzka, Kimmich, and Thiago. So those two guys have to be amazing to be top tier, because the issue with Coman is you're not getting goals from him. You may get some assists here and there, you're not getting goals from him. Gnabry, you're getting both goals and assists. You're getting both goals and assists. So obviously when you had the Ribery-Robben thing, Robben was giving you goals, Ribery was giving you assists, a high volume of assists, and Ribery was like, you see, I think if Coman was doing what Ribery was doing, i.e., you're creating so many chances and you're creating so much space and you're causing so much havoc, then he'd keep his place without having goals. Ribery was not a high volume goal scorer. He wasn't. But in that season where he was robbed from the Ballon d'Or because of political reasons, a lot of Bayern's goals came through what Ribery did. So it was an assist, or he was dribbling, getting past guys, or facilitating a move that led to assist, that's led to an assist that led to a goal. So dude was money. Dude was 100% money. But look, as I said again, look, I mean, I still feel that this is going to be Bayern Munich will win the Bundesliga this season. They will. Teams. I mean, once they get going, nobody will be able to touch them. So I mean, again, let me hit this. So they're going to win because look, Dortmund will push them close, but I think when it comes down to it, see, that's the difference between both sides. If Dortmund played like Bayern played today, they lose. 100%. Dortmund are that kind of team that they need to play well to win. If they don't play well, more likely they lose. Bayern Munich can play badly and win. That's the mark of champions. That is the key bottom line of champions. Champions can figure out ways to win. You can't play well for 38 games a season. It's impossible. Or you can't play well for 32 games a season. That is impossible. That is a football impossibility. So those guys that win championships, whether it's Man United, whether it's Juventus, whether it's Barcelona, find ways to win. So those 4 or 5 games when you're not playing well, things are not flowing well, they say, look, guys just find a way of, let's just create a situation of winning a penalty or a set piece. Let's walk the set piece and get a goal. And boom, we walk away with 3 points. rebuild, figure out why we didn't play well, and ensure that we will play well in the next game. But the problem with the Dortmund is if Dortmund don't play well and they're not all guns blazing, they don't have the personnel, the character, or the individuals to get that goal. Like, we're playing badly, we're being outplayed. Let's get a goal against the run of play. They can't do that. So it is what it is, So there is no argument you can give me that Bayern don't win the league this season. They don't. And Thiago, thank you for super chats, Mr. Erhan Axel. Thiago, for most underrated player, great today. Let me talk to you about Thiago. He was really good today. Quality good. But I always say that I judge you based on the opposition that you play. Fair enough. You can only play to the opposition that you see. But for me, playing well against Union Berlin is very different from playing well against a Juventus or a Liverpool or an Atletico Madrid, because you are facing stiffer opposition and midfielders who are smarter, more experienced, and just know how to win the ball from you based on just them being better psychologically and mentally. So, but I said Thiago Alcântara was always a quality player. Ever since from Barcelona, he was always a quality player. He's a guy that when you look at him play, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy plays football beautifully. When he's on the ball, I think this is what they always say to you as midfielders, like his head is always up and he's always looking left to right, left to right, left to right. The worst thing you can do as a midfielder is your head is down or your body is way too much in one direction. So I got Alcantara, he's always like, all right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So do I go left, do I go right? So he's scanning and assessing everything that is happening on the football pitch. He's got a 360 vision. My only issue with Thiago Alcantara is in those high-octane games, CL quarterfinal, CL semi, against bigger opposition and it's higher pressure now, he gets lost. And that's the difference. And that is the difference between him and like a Schweinsteiger. Because Schweinsteiger was, when he was at his peak, those big games, he was ready to be counted. He was like, boom, give me the ball. I will dominate this game and I will win the midfield battle. If I'm looking, so basically, if let's say Bayern play Barcelona and I'm looking at Arthur, Frank de Jong, and Vidal, does Thiago Alcantara dominate? Or if I'm looking at Juventus and I'm looking at Pjanic, Khedira, Bentancur, does Alcantara dominate? So that is what is missing from his game, that he is technically a brilliant midfielder, technically amazing, great passing, super smart. But for him to not be that echelon is, all right, this is a high octane game, higher stakes, more difficult, less time on the ball. Your passes now mean more. You don't have as much space to really scope as you do against weak opposition in Bundesliga. You now have to maybe expand your footballing brain and your footballing game. Does he know how to adapt and tweak his game to that? That's the key thing, man. But Jadid says that Pava was the best player on the pitch. He was pretty good for me. I still think that the best player for me was probably Alphonso Davies. I think Alphonso Davies was super consistent. I think Pava was also pretty good as well. I think the best players for me were Davies, Pava, Thiago Alcantara. I think those were the best players for me, and I think the thing about Pava is that he's a useful player to have, similar to Kimmich, because Pava can play right back, centre back, which is it's so useful to have. That's only one of the key things I always look at whenever I'm playing Football Manager is, or one thing that either I look to see if I have, what I can get is a defender that can play all positions. The amount of times that comes in useful to me when a defender breaks it for me and gets a red card in a key game or something, or gets huge injuries. Some defender, look, man, I need a left back or a centre back quickly, boom, and he could just coax in there. So it's very useful to have, man. Thoughts on Ziyech? Like quality. Like we all saw what he did last season. I said that for Ziyech, I thought that Ziyech was probably performed better than De Jong or maybe De Ligt. So I was surprised that he wasn't the guy that people went for Ajax. So I'm excited to see what he can do for Chelsea, because 100% I think he will improve Chelsea. Chelsea need a new brain in the attack, someone that thinks differently in the final third. And hopefully, that is what Ziyech can bring, because I think sometimes Chelsea's issue is that they get a bit stale in that final third. And I'm looking for someone that's, all right, just, okay, think of a different pass. Think of a different situation. Make an interesting move to try and get that goal and, make things a little bit sexy and everything for us, man. Says HH, Pjanic, De Chilio plus 25 million to Barcelona deal about to be done. Semedo to Juventus. So Pjanic, De Chilio plus 25 mil to Barcelona. But if that happens, Barcelona are a bunch of morons. Remember when Barcelona swapped Eto'o for Ibrahimovic? I think Barcelona are trying to get themselves inducted for being one of the worst transfer sites. That is, first of all, that is a super deal for Juventus. De Chilio was cool before, he's now trash. Ask many Italian fans or AC Milan fans. He was really hyped to begin with. Oh, this could be the next really great right back. Then he became trash. Pjanic, he's past his peak. The guy is totally 100% past his peak. Semedo, remember when he had the conversation about really good quality right backs? That is a great deal for Juventus. That is a super deal for Juventus. So now Juventus, man, I think we got Alexandru on the left, Semedo on the right. Oh my gosh, and Semedo is a solid defender, can do what going for. So for Juventus, that's a great deal. For Barcelona, that is a bomb-ass deal, man. So wait, can we just let this match happen? First of all, we don't even know whether the Champions League is going to happen. Let's keep it real. Chelsea beat that team that I saw today. No offense to Union Berlin, shout out to your boy Union Berlin and all those unions. Chelsea would beat the crap out of that team that I saw today. So let's just keep that real. So you can hit them all you want. Tammy Abraham would drop three Gs against that flipping team. The cheek. So if Bayern are not at their best, why can't Chelsea go through? Why not? Like if it's that thing, then you're just hating, man. How do you rate Lucas Hernandez? His was crucial in France World Cup, but now he's benched by Davis. You see, that's the thing about it, guys. Remember a guy called Fabio Grosso? Remember him? He was arguably the player of the World Cup in 2006. Before 2006, nobody ahead of him. After 2006, nobody ahead of him. His legacy is made, his history is made because he's already gotten what he's gotten. But afterwards, dude was done. This may be similar to Lucas Hernandez, where he had a really good World Cup, but coming into club football, different week in, week out, different system, different players, maybe it's not popping up for him. And I think for Lucas Hernandez, it is what it is, man. Yeah, dude may be 19 and everything. He's widely considered as arguably the best left back in the world right now based on form. Alphonso Davies is one of Bayern's best, most consistent players. And this is where we now go back to the point I made about Pava. This is why it is useful to be a player who can play multiple positions. Now, obviously, you want to be a specialist and be the best you can be in one role. That puts you in the best possible position to start a team. But it's helpful to say, you know what? I'm amazing left back. I'm all right at centre back. I can do right back like Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta, he's not left-footed, but all right, left back. All right, I'll do it. Because now Lucas Hernandez now faces a chance for Hansi Flick. What's Hansi Flick supposed to do? I can't play you centre back. I can't play you right back. And if everyone is fit, you're simply not better than Alphonso Davies. Alphonso Davies works so well for our team. So all he can hope for now is either Alphonso Davies comes out of form, gets injured, or in any games that he's given, he has an amazing game, but there's nothing he can do, man. So let's talk about. Yeah, no, but see, no, look, see, that's why tonight on the hangar we're gonna have a long convo about Lewandowski. Who knows what he'll finish? He's on 26 goals right now, and there are like 8 games left. So I think the most he scored is 30. So there's a good chance he can break his record. I think it's 26 league goals. I think it's 40 in all competitions, which is insane. 40 in all competitions, but 26 in league goals. Like he's having a stupid season. He's having an absolutely stupid season. But I've seen this story time and time again. This is a stat story, and it's not an achievement story. Like 100%, like Lewandowski, you're going to go down as one of the great players and strikers in Bundesliga history. But for a player of your standard, if you retire without winning a Champions League, I don't care how many goal scoring awards you won. I don't give a damn. I don't care how many of these things you won. All that really matters is you win that CL. That's all that matters. All that matters is that you win that flipping CL. So, like, I think the thing is, I say people get really excited. People get excited too easily, and people give people high praises way too easily. And for me, you've got to end that massive praise. For me, the benchmark for me is always very high, especially for special players. If it's Karius, the benchmark is to breathe. So for Karius, if you can breathe and say what's up to oxygen and CO2, I will call you a lord. So all I want from Karius, your benchmark is to breathe in oxygen. But for Lewandowski, your benchmark is the Champions League, to win the Champions League and to score in a semi or in the final. That is what will define his legacy. I will talk of Lewandowski in the same vein as I talk about a Riquelme or a Charisma. Like, man, that was a damn good player who scored a lot of goals and was really good on the ball. But he can be so much more. He can be so much more and really fully etch his name in history by doing something truly outstanding. Let's see. Oh no. Please tell me you're joking. So you're saying that he can't even breathe properly? Please tell me that they're joking, man. Please tell me that they're joking, man. But no, look, I mean, we don't know whether the Champions League is starting or not, because I think the commentator was even alluding to that. But you see this. So let's keep it real. Everybody put Bayern as being the Champions League favorites based on what they did to Chelsea. But let's keep it real. Chelsea were bad. And no one apart from myself was putting Chelsea as favorites for the Champions League, man. So when you consider that, Bayern had not yet made a statement. See, like when Bayern did what they did to Barcelona in 2013, that was a statement. You're doing that to flipping Barcelona. That was a statement. What? 3-0, 4-0, 7-0 aggregate? That's stupid. So, but them doing this to a Chelsea who are in the rebuilding stage doesn't make enough of a statement for them to be like, okay, these are now Champions League favorites. But you never knew whether that, because Bayern Munich was just a team where like they were really solid, really good, and Liverpool being knocked out meant that you can say to Bayern, you know what? But see, there is no team left in the competition that Bayern can't beat. Bayern against Man City, up for grabs, because there's not one large amazing team. All right, so exactly. In 50 years, people aren't going to remember Lewandowski for scoring 4 goals a season, 40 goals a season, and they're going to remember Benzema more, who didn't score as many ball currently. You see, that's the thing, is like when all is said and done, people will remember Benzema more, 100%. Lewandowski has easily outscored Benzema, 100% totally outscored him, but Benzema will be remembered more and would have had a better career because of what he did in big games. and what he did to gain and win big trophies. Like, let's be real. Let's be fully real. If things were different, as we talked today, Benzema should be a Champions League winner, a Euro winner, and a World Cup winner. When we're talking about that tonight, Benzema should be those three things. He should be a Euro, because Benzema goes to Euro 2016, they win Euro 2016, not Portugal. Benzema goes to the World Cup, they win the World Cup. Maybe in more flamboyant style than they already did. So that's what would have happened, but it is what it is. But even without the Euros and the World Cup, he has a better thing. So for Lewandowski, I hope Lewandowski realizes it, which is why it may actually be harmful for Lewandowski that he's scoring so many goals in the Bundesliga and he's always top of the charts. Because if I was to write Lewandowski, I'm like, bro, forget that. Forget it. Forget about competing with Obama when he was at Dortmund. Forget it. That's irrelevant. Do what you do, but your whole focus should be when Champions League arrives, I'm at my very best, and when that chance falls to me, that ball is in that net. That is what his total focus should be right now, because time's running out. Because if he doesn't win a Champions League, Benzema would have had a better career and would be revered more and remembered more than a dude that, scored all those goals, man. Who impressed you the most today? For me today, nobody stood out. For me, nobody was truly outstanding. But if I had to pick, I would say it's between Alphonso Davies and Thiago Alcântara. It's between those two. I think Alphonso Davies showed great discipline in walking the channels, made good runs, had good movements, was always the pass was always onto him, made smart plays. And when he got into those positions, he made the right cross, whether it's a cutback, a cross along the floor and everything. So he pretty much picked up where he left off, where that's what you want. That's what's made Lamb so good, where you're consistent, you're running up that channels. But the key thing as well is that you understand your defensive, your defensive duties and your offensive duties as well. But again, for Thiago Alcântara, I think he was quality. I think if you have a game in which you're not going to put pressure on Thiago Alcântara, you're not going to press him, he is going to look really good. Because if you give him space to maneuver, he's going to look really good because he's an incredibly gifted player. So just how will he fare when people really fully press him and stuff? But yeah, man. What are they saying, man? Benzema have done the duo. No. For me, Benzema is different, from Giroud. Because look, Giroud is very good at what he does. Just that Benzema would have brought more because Benzema can do more when he's on the ball. And that's the key thing. Like he can do more on the ball, so therefore he can affect the game a lot more when he has the ball. But yeah, no. Again, I think no. Now if we're not looking at Bayern, you can also say to yourself that you can now see why they need Sané. You can see why they need Sané because Bayern are definitely in need of that. Bayern don't have that truly outstanding player, which is why I don't think this team can win a Champions League. Because let's say Bayern face PSG, a fully strong PSG. It could be a tight game. Neymar can do something like that. Mbappe can do something like that. Let's say Bayern Munich face a Juventus. Cristiano could do something like that. Dybala can do something like that. Who used to do that for Bayern Munich? Robin. Robin was that dude where out of nothing, boom, 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 psh, Robin goal. Can Lewandowski do that? Can Gnabry do that? Sané, I think, has the capability of doing that where giving the ball, boom. Because remember that goal that Sané scored against Liverpool. I think it was the 2018 CL season where they lost to Real Madrid. Boom. Just scored that. Where Liverpool were outplaying Man City. Like, the goal didn't count for anything, but boom. They did that. So, Bayern, that's what I've always said. Like, so Bayern Munich have not yet replaced Robin. Or Ribery, but they've not yet replaced Robin. Gnabry is a really good player. He's not Robin. He's not Robin. Sané, I don't know. Like, I can't say Sané can be Robin. I can't say that he can be, but I don't know what Sané can bring. So, but Bayern are truly missing that truly outstanding individual who can win the game on his own. Because how many games did Robin Ross win on his own? Where Robin was like, boom, goal. And those kinds of players are critical, man. Because that's what to win a Champions League. So it's about luck and so forth. But in an ideal scenario, to win a Champions League, you need a good, solid team that is well coached, which will Bayern have. But beyond that, you need those individuals or that individual. Also, those individuals these are game winners. These are guys who away game, we need an away goal. Can you get a goal against another player? We're being outplayed. We're being hustled out. We're not in our rhythm. We are out of our element. We just need a G. And that is a very important thing. Cristiano Ronaldo was that for Real Madrid, where out of nothing, boom, goal. It is what it is. It is what it is. You were playing well and everything. Counter-attack, Cristiano, sniper. Messi, boom. So those are the kinds of individuals that you need. You need those snipers. You need those snipers. Like, Bayern have really good players. They don't have a sniper. They don't have a cold-hearted, emotionless sniper in their team. So, so Lewandowski should be that dude for us, but he doesn't like shrink. See, for me, based on the formation that Bayern Munich play and what modern football is, that position has to be your inside forward. Obviously, your striker has to be one of those individuals, but the inside forward, because they have more space to maneuver, those are the kinds of guys that you rely on. Because this has been the last 5-6 years has been the era of the inside forward. So that is why Bayern Munich are looking at Leroy Sané, and they're looking to say, like, can you be that dude for us? Because it has to be that inside forward who does things. Because again, it's what Robin did. It's what Robin did. A striker doesn't have as much space as a striker does not have as much space as an inside forward does. So on those counterattacks and everything, it's cool to pass, but we're not really looking for you to pass. It's 1-1. We need a goal. We need a goal. 80th minute, we need a goal. So once you're not counter and you are 1v1, it's 3-on-3. I need you to create space for yourself. Take the shot. Take the shot. Be the MJ Michael Jordan of the team. Take the flipping shot, man. So that's what you need to do, man. Yeah, remember, Ribery was that dude, but in a different sense. He was that dude in a sense of creating. So Ribery I'm gonna create for you here. I may not score, but I'm gonna put you in the best position to create. But what made Bayern truly little was the Robin thing, where you need that goal scorer. You need that goal scoring inside forward, and that inside forward who you can rely on to come trumps and just get that G. Because that has been for me the most fascinating evolution in football has been the inside forward. Because again, it's like, okay, like the winger has more space, but rather than the winger being so far away, let's bring the winger a bit more narrower. But even if we bring him narrower, he still has the space that the winger has. So therefore, he's much more deadly. There's only so much a striker can do because he's in the center of the pitch and he's in restricted space. But which is what they always say, oh, go wide, go wide, go wide, because wider is more space. Because you're not going to have defenders go out wide for you. So, so the inside forward has been for me the most fascinating evolution because they become the new strikers. That's why it's an inside forward. The inside forwards are the new strikers. So it's really rather than a 4-3-2-1, it's really a 4-3-3. It's really 4-3-3. So even if they're out wide, it's really still a 4-3. So it's really three strikers that they're playing with. You're still playing with three strikers. Your view on Kimmich? Oh no, Joshua Kimmich, very, very talented player. I said again, Joshua Kimmich's biggest asset is how versatile he is. He can play in midfield. He can play in defense. He has great composure and so forth. He can still improve. I think he can still improve technically. He can still sort of clean up his game. But he's a incredibly useful player to have. Incredibly useful player to have. Oh geez, I should have some drink. Yeah, very good business to have. So, actually, how old is he? Actually, how old is Joshua Kimmich? Kimmich age. Yes, so he's 25. So yeah, he's still 2 years away from his peak. So he's basically entering his peak right now. Well, next is entering his peak. So yeah, so this is now where he now has to really show the world what he can truly do. Because again, like that, and that's the thing. So remember we said about the whole Theo Hernandez, like again for Joshua Kimmich, what is his strongest position? He doesn't really specialize in a particular position. So he says so that is it good that he's right back now, his midfield, his DM and everything, or should he be like, now this is my position and I'm going to hone and be the best I can possibly play in this position? But if I'm Hansi Flick, I am happy with how I'm using Kimmich because I'm like, my gosh, man, I know that if I'm down at the right back, he can slot in at right back. I know that if I'm down in midfield, I can slot in into midfield as well. So, and I know that if I'm down in central defense, he can slot in. So, it is good for him that he can just sort of move him around and so forth. I think I don't think they are. I thought they were going to do it, but I don't think they are because I said if they change the format, screw you. Screw you. Kimmich is literally like Lamb, but a bit worse. Like, I think no. Lamb is considerably a better player. Considerably better. Like, it's the gap between it's not even comparable. Like Lamb was a damn good player, a damn good football player. So I think that there are. I mean, you're talking about a guy who is arguably you're talking about a guy who's arguably the best defender I've ever seen, based on just defending. I always have to remind people that Homie never got a red card. Do you know what it means to be a right back and to have never gotten a red card? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. When you just think of the games he's played in, the players who he's had to face, both at Euros, World Cup, Champions League, to have never gotten a red card. That is that for me should seal the deal of him being the best defender of all time. That should seal the deal for me to be the best defender of all time. If that has happened, man. Do you think a front three of Hazard, Asensio, and Big Benz can perform a comeback versus City? Difficult to say because they've not played together for a long time. My gosh, I even forgot that Asensio played for Ball. I forgot that Asensio used to play for football. Hazard has not played. Zach has not played for a while. So I think if they played more, they caused City a lot of issues because that is a very dangerous front three. It's a very dangerous front three. But the reason why the Bale, Cristiano, Benzema worked so well, or the Isco, Benzema, Cristiano works well, is that they played so much together. And when you play so many games together, you create that familiarity, and that familiarity is key. It's key to being an effective trio. It's key to being an effective trio, man. Oh, geez, I thought someone just. Thoughts on Neuer? No, Neuer. I said, look, no, Neuer is that dude. Because it's funny, like before we went on the whole break thing for Navarres, Neuer actually said that he is very confident with Bayern's chances this season, and I definitely believe that he has a great hunger to win the Champions League again for Bayern, and I think he definitely wants to, because I still don't understand how in those 3 Pep years Bayern never made the final once, because I was convinced that they would at least win the Champions League in one of those races. But even getting to the final, I felt that because that team was at their peak, all the players were at their peak. This was Pep coming off from Barcelona. I was convinced that they would win in those races. I think I understood the loss to Barcelona. The loss to Real Madrid was weird, though. Yes, I think was that 2014 that they lost to Real Madrid. That was weird, because even if you just saw how they conceded the goals, that was weird. They have no business losing. Like 2016, what should have been a Bayern Real Madrid final. That should have been a Bayern Real Madrid final. And if you have that final, I would have loved to see that final. Atletico deserved, but that would have been a great final. 2016, those players playing at their very best at their peak, coached by Pep against Real Madrid, that would have been great. Because remember, Real Madrid were at their peak 2017. That was when these guys were at their best. Was that 2017 team? Maybe 2018, but really 2017. So that would have been it. Because remember, the 2016 was when Zidane came in towards the end of the year. But Bayern, they really messed up not beating Atletico. They should have beaten Atletico. They should have beaten Atletico because they were heavy favorites. They were heavy favorites. So, and even when you thought, yeah, Atletico are not supposed to be here. You just felt like if Atletico were not supposed to be that far, it was supposed to be Bayern Munich. So I still have no idea how they didn't manage to get it done in those 3 years, man. Bayern would have. You see, I would have put my money on Bayern winning. But it's Real Madrid. Real Madrid with Zidane, they just had something. Martin, relax, man. They just had something, man. They just had something. Did they lose? Wait, what was the aggregate score when they faced Real Madrid? Because I think one thing was like 4-0 something. Like, it was something crazy. But yeah, but even if Bayern would have gone in as favorites, there was something. Zidane was walking with a spirit. There's a specific spirit that he was walking with there that just made him too strong, man. They just made him just far too strong. Oh my god. Oh my god. 5-0? Guys, I don't know whether you know what we need to have another Pep Guardiola conversation. We need to have another Pep Guardiola conversation because we need to have a very long Pep Guardiola conversation, and it involves Messi because I don't think we've really fully assessed those 3 years at Bayern. Because remember, he took over a treble-winning Bayern Munich. Because do you know what was so funny about that whole thing? Remember, Pep was already announced as a manager before the season was finished because Rummenigge and Ule Hoeneß were like, yeah, you're paying because this guy's old, he's washed, he's out of it. Go into your flipping retirement home. Avida's in the retirement home. We need to bring the new, fresher dude to Coman. And the notion was Pep is going to come in and just show this old piece of crap you're paying because how it's supposed to be done. But Yop was like, cool, I'm a loser and everything. But before I go, I'll just drop this treble and I'll go smoke my pipe cigar in the retirement home. And I'm going to fondle the 20-year-old sexy Cameroonian nurse that gives me a back massage. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm an old fogey. I'm a loser. I smell. My teeth are falling out. I'll leave you with this treble. So I'll leave you this treble, and Pep can just win numerous trebles. So Pep was like, oh snap, he won a treble. I'm gonna put Lamb in DM because I will not do the same thing that he did. So how did a team that won a treble previous season in 3 years never made the final? And from what you guys said, because I'm gonna check this up because I think you guys are lying. Because I forgot 5-0 on aggregate. A peak ban against. Because people leave these details out. But Uncle HH will always expose you. See, people insult him because you know what people like? People like the lovely story. People like the Disney story. People like the happy ending. People like, but I'm the dude that says, okay, how good is Messi really? How good is Ronaldo really? How good is Pep really? How good are these guys really? I am the guy that asks the tough questions. People just want to be happy. Maybe it's because I'm a pessimist, I'm a morbid or something. I'm always like, no, this isn't perfect. Let's research. Let's investigate. Let's critique. Red also, how many times did Ole beat Pep this year? Woo! Gollum. How good is Pep really? We'll talk. We'll talk easy. Chill, guys. Shh. Sunday hangout's gonna be big, guys. We pop over 11 p.m. 11 p.m. We're gonna say what's up. We're gonna say what's up 11 p.m. Easy, just chill, guys. Relax, whoa. Chill. Half Up Thoughts. That's my other YouTube channel. Half Up Thoughts. We drop a daily show almost every day. Half Up Thoughts. YouTube channel. Check it out. We're gonna talk. I want to talk about because those 3 years. I'm gonna critique those 3 years because you can't hide behind Lionel Messi. We know who Messi is. We know who Xavi and Iniesta is because the core of your team won 3 international trophies in a row. 2010, I'm going to ask because I think they doped. Because if they didn't dope, my homie Robin wins. Although Holland winning in South Africa would be weird, racist, apartheid. Now my thing was you had a call. Pep. Those 3 years, you had a pick Bayern. You had a pick Bayern. You couldn't say what's up once. A pick Bayern in 3 years, three seasons. 3 seasons. You couldn't say what's up once, but you destroyed football. You couldn't say what's up once. A retired, old, washed, filthy, good for nothing retirement home, Zimmer frame, flipping 150-year-old, good for nothing, backstabber from the road, from the streets, good for nothing, no gooder called Yop Jeremiah Hankins said what's up with the 3-piece. Said what's up with the 3-piece. The least you can do to show some damn respect. It's gonna be fine. Just give me one final. Just give me one final. Easy. Just give me one final. Pep, I'm going for easy. Now, if guys, and I'm a bit. I told you I'm slightly nuts. I'm slightly nuts. I think I'm seeing a therapist. I'm slightly nuts. Easy, guys, just relax. Don't just relax. I'm slightly nuts. Just basically says if Zizou wants La Liga with this team, if Zizou wins La Liga with this team, Zizou overlap easy. No. That's taking things a bit too far. That's taking things too far, man. That's taking things a bit too far. Martin, can you get rid of this moron called SWYMT or whoever this dude is, man? So no, we will talk about this dude, man. We will talk about this dude. I'm sorry, we have to talk about this dude. Because I give Pep credit, but that's 5-0. That's 5-0 is. You see, Mo, I admit that Pep is a great coach and his tactics are superb. But I judge a manager by. Can you win with I call it this. I call it the Scunthorpe test. I call it the Scunthorpe test. Basically, Mourinho has passed the Scunthorpe test. You could argue that Fergie's passed the Scunthorpe test. You need to pass the Scunthorpe test. The Scunthorpe test is that can you win with scraps? Mourinho passed with flying colours. Those loser Chelsea was FC Porto. Who? So if you pass the Scunthorpe test, that tells you that you can do more with less. So a manager must pass the Scunthorpe test. So that's what I'm calling it the Scunthorpe test. Okay, you have to be there. I'm calling it the Scunthorpe test. Guys, look, man, we ain't doing like a 5-hour thing, man. I mean, I'll do as much as I can, but I'm not doing the whole 5-hour thing. But guys, so just to round things up because the last few minutes, because I need to get some fresh airs. Look, it is great that football is back. Bayern Munich looking cool. I definitely want to see Sane in this team. I definitely want to see Sane in this team. And do you know what was really sad though? I forgot to mention this. Union Berlin, I believe this might be their first time ever in the Bundesliga, their very first time ever. And one of their big things, this is also why, whoever ate that bat in China, man, screw you, man. COVID is one of the most crappiest things because these dudes were looking forward to seeing Bayern come to their stadium. Looking on to look comes is that they're stadium that looks like my kitchen from Siberia. Easy, relax, chill. But so and the goodness, and that's so unfortunate that all of these Union Berlin fans were not able to go to the stadium and really watch a Bayern Munich come to the stadium, which would have been a historic thing. Imagine like the flipping match program for that. That would have been a collector's item. So that's unfortunate. But I think for Union Berlin, actually, where are they actually in the league, man? Where are these guys in the league? Let me see how these guys are doing. Because these guys are all right, man. They were actually an all right team. If Subasic wasn't a break, not bad. They're 12th. Not bad. Impressive. They're 12th with 30 points. So they are, but it's tricky. They're 7 points from safety. 7 points from safety, but it's all right. It's all right. No, they're all right. That's all right. But yeah, still banned 58 and 54. So guys, look, it's been swell seeing you guys. Yeah. Again, I apologize if I was slightly off the rails. I admit that I am normal and everything, but some things just give me hype. From around, it says Yop owns Pep, one CL with 2 different teams in 2 different eras. Now, yeah, not for me. Yop Heynckes is the better manager. The keyword manager. Pep is not a better manager. Pep is a damn good coach, but basically, Yop, I think, passes the Scunthorpe test. Pep fails the Scunthorpe test. But my thing is that this is what I want to talk on this hangout tonight. So hangout tonight is I need an explanation for why he couldn't say what's up in those 3 years. I need a reason for why he couldn't say what's up in those 3 years. He couldn't say what's easy because your boy Hank said he gave me trouble. How does a treble-winning team not sniff ACL final? Just tell me. That's what I want to know. How does Guardiola not give me a single CL final in 3 years with a prime problem? Easy. So you couldn't give my problem another CL? You couldn't give my problem because Robert could have had 2 CLs and could have made him a flipping horseman. Easy. Become a Football Hut member and gain access to cool emojis on the live streams and get access to new YouTube content by clicking the join button here. And to view that new content, head over to the YouTube channel homepage and click on the community tab over here.